Welcome to Sports CTO Talks. In this series, we would be connecting with industry leaders from the sports and technology domain, where we will simplify sports and technology for you. I am Ami, your guide on this journey through mind of amazing tech leaders who are shaping the future of sports. We will dive deep into discussions, innovations driving the industry, from AI to cloud, from cybersecurity to sustainability. If it is tech, we are talking about it. Today, we have with us Amit Gupta, founder and CTO of ViewMotion. We welcome you, Amit, to the podcast.
Thank you, Ami. Thank you for having me. It's an honor and a privilege to be here.
Our guest is an experienced AI and computer vision research leader at ViewMotion. They are leading the development of a cutting edge human motion management platform that's quite literally helping people move better by powering smarter AI driven motion insights. His main work experience has been in research and management related to AI for computer vision applications. The algorithms he has developed cover a broad spectrum of topics such as sports and surveillance, video data analytics, image and video compression, watermarking, and data embedding in images. He is also an inventor and co-inventor on more than 14 patent applications across Australia and US. They have contributed directly to impact products at companies like Unleash Life, Canon, including Canon's intelligent video analytics for network cameras and barcode systems for printers, and even satellite systems at 𝗦𝗰𝗶𝗲. Today, in this podcast, he would be talking about the future of sports and sports science into AI. So, Amit, my first question on the podcast to you is how are modern video and data tools helping athletes develop sharper skills, both technically and tactically, on day-to-day basis?
Thanks, Ami. You really started with a tough question right off the bat, and I'm a cricket fan, so I probably will use some analogies there. It's a really good question. So I love videos because videos are very contextually rich. You're seeing me, you can see what I'm wearing, the emotions, you can even, probably guess my background. You can guess my age. So video is very rich. So modern video tools, they are not only capable of giving objective biomechanical data, but they also quite powerful in communicating that information within the ecosystem very effectively. So let me give you an example. Let's say, and I'm going to use ViewMotion experience itself. So we look at people how they are running, and one of the activity we look at is how you are touching down when you are actually landing, and how you are leaving the ground, which is toe off. And then we give you insights. And imagine if you can actually show those insights on the actual person when they have done the test. It suddenly becomes a wow moment. You say, oh yes, I know what am I doing, and I know what I have to do. Let's work out a path, to reach from point A, where I am currently, to point B, where we should go for more efficient moving. So that is the power of video-based analysis as well as communication.
Okay, so can you explain us how predictive analytics help them or help the team in making better decisions?
Mm, mm. So I will start little bit from the biomechanics side first. And my thank to all the researchers and sports science and biomechanics and physiotherapists, because they have invested a lot of their time and effort in examining how human body moves. Okay, and there is a rich field where they have published research papers on identifying every aspect of motion, and the field is continuously growing because human body is such an amazing you know system in itself. What we do, we try to get objective data about how you are moving. And what it means by objective data, so imagine, let's say you go to a doctor 100 years ago and you say, I'm feeling hot. So the doctor will touch your, your forehead and say, okay, yeah, you're very hot, or you are a little bit hot. So it's subjective. Okay, and based on that, they will give you some medicine. Okay, or maybe they will say just rest. It's a little hot. In 2 days it will be okay. So that is called subjective analysis, and it is pretty good at that time. But now, you come fast forward 100 years after that, everything is becoming objective. They want to see what's your temperature. They want to see what's in your blood. They want to do an MRI. They want to do an X-ray. Everything is objective. Why objective is better? Because then you can make more informed decision. Because subjective may be different from one person to another. In the same way, in the field of sports science and managing athletes and players, objective data is very, very important because every body is different. So for the objective assessment of every body is required so that you can come up with the right intervention, right programming in terms of exercise routines or in terms of managing what exercises he or she should do, and it starts with the objective data. So that's where these tools like ViewMotion is becoming very, very important.
Absolutely. So when you're talking about this, I would like to understand more about, how is performance management evolving now, and that coaches and players are using real-time data or real-time video feedback specifically. So how does that guide or train them, and how does that help the matches at the end of the day?
Yes. So I'll use the story from my coach and co-founder Ryan. So he's a nationally accredited coach, and he's also quite passionate about using video. And he used to video his athletes, and then he used to invest a lot of time analyzing how those athletes are moving. What we have done, and what other technology existing have done, is making this analysis automatic and accessible. So movement analysis before, let's say 3 years ago, was lab based mostly. So you have to go to lab, and that was a good contribution to the field, especially marker based movement analysis, because they started giving the data which was not available before that technology. What we have done, we have taken that same system in some ways, basically access to the data, and bring it out in the field. So it helps in many ways. First of all, now anybody who does not have access to labs or cannot afford it, and they are also pretty time consuming as well, can still get the data they are looking for. So it means lab grade technology is now accessible everywhere in the world. So imagine, how MRIs used to be very, very restrictive. You probably remember, like, there were one in the state. Now there is one MRI machine in the city. Now there are more MRI machine. From X-ray, there used to be one X-ray. Now they have portable X-rays. So accessibility is increasing. In the same way, in the field of sports, access to technology and objective data is helping coaches and athletes to make the right decision. How do we monitor the performance of an athlete? Is he or she fatigued? Are they overburdened or overloaded? So that's where it's important. How do we improve the performance? We work with some of the best athletes all over the world. We also support grassroots athletes when they are forming the foundation of movement, how to start training. And now the coaches can actually see, and they say, look, this is the right biomechanical way of running or jumping or throwing the ball based on fundamentals of biomechanics. So this is the objective data in field is really helping the whole ecosystem become empowered and become better in movement.
Okay. So when you're talking about this, how, is AI-driven biomechanic analysis replacing the traditional coaching techniques or the coaches in any way?
That's a very good question, and I think I've got this question asked by many people across years. That is AI going to replace human? Um, and my answer to that question is that I see AI as augmenting intelligence, not artificial intelligence. So it's a really good technology. It helps bring data and insights in unprecedented way, very accurate, very, very powerful. But eventually we want to help bring this intelligence to coaches and athletes. So supporting our coaches who have years of experience, who have that foundational knowledge, and they really understand the body of an athlete, that what is the right. So it is empowering a coach to make the right decision. And that's where I see the future is that, coaches now have access to knowledge, data, and insights to make the right informed decision. And that's where AI should, play a integral role.
So when you talk about this, how does it help? And if you could share a few examples, how does it help into injury prevention and rehabilitation of the players?
Yes, yes, and I would love to because over the course of last 3 years since we are in the market selling View Motion, we are very fortunate to actually get some of the real life case studies. So in terms of performance improvement, one of the case study I'm very passionate about, and actually two, uh, is Gout. So Gout is a 100 meter and 200 meter athlete prodigy, as they are saying. Usain Bolt has said, he looks like him. He's the new sensation in the field of athletics, and we've been working with his coach, Diane Shefford, for last 2.5 years. How did he use technology in view motion? They look at every aspect of your movement, like including your ground contact time, including your air time, including the shapes you are making, including the left and right leg step by step performance. And then they make a small adjustment depending on the athlete's body and the fundamentals of biomechanics to make sure that the person is continuously improving. And I'm very happy that in last December he actually broke the world record. I forgot which championship. I think it's 200 meter sprint, and that is quite amazing. One of our coach, Tenil, she has used view motion to improve the running between the wickets for cricket. Um, we we have a test which is called change of direction analysis, and it highlights when you are running between two wickets, what strategy do you are using so that you can switch over efficiently without hurting your knees. And there are specific biomechanics metrics, kinematics, which are used by coaches to fine tune that motion. So that's where performance improvement and performance monitoring plays a role. One of the other case study, and in fact it's available on our website as well, is through Irish Rugby, the sports physio and coach, 𝗀𝗻𝗻𝗀. He has used view motion for rehab, a double ACL athlete, and they were looking when they were rehabbing how can they prepare the athlete to come and participate in Paris Olympics in record time. And it was fully data driven. They used a number of tools including ViewMotion, and he was very happy that ViewMotion empowered him with the data, how the leg which had the injury versus the leg which did not have the injury, what's the difference and what can they do to bring them at the same level. So that's where tools like Vmotion are empowering coaches and athletes to really adjust their rehab journey, improve performance, and become the best of what they can be.
Absolutely. So when you were talking about the high performance environment, and there is this lot of support staff like analysts, therapists, trainers. So how can they collaborate with each other to have more effective video analysis or share the visual data? How does that work? and how that can at the
Yes,
end
yes. And
impact or affect the team or individual player? How does it work?
yeah, so communication is very, very important. Effective communication is the key. Once you have the data and once you have the insights, the next step is to communicate effectively those data points, those insights, so that everybody is on the same, plate. They understand what needs to be done. In fact, we so strongly believe in the power of communication, especially visual communication, that when we started View Motion, we said, okay, we're gonna create a video-based communication platform, which not only gives you insights and data point, but it also helps you communicate. So ViewMotion platform brings everybody together on the same video. Now you can see the person, I can see the player, the coach can see, and the data is overlaid in an augmented reality fashion where we showcase what is right, what is wrong, and the data. And they can also write their own comments on a frame by frame aspect. So you can stop the video, you can slow mo the video, you can zoom in, point out what you think is right, what you think is wrong. So this is the power of visual communication at its best. And when you visually communicate, and imagine like, you and I, we are talking here, and if I just switch off my camera, suddenly it's just my voice which you're hearing, but you don't see my emotion. But now I'm back and you can see, hey, I'm smiling, I'm moving my hands. Very, very powerful way of communication. And our tool allows everybody to come on board, talk about the data and insight, and make an informed decision moving forward.
So what is the role of AI into scouting?
It's a very important role. So when they scout, every scout is looking for something specific, and they have this in mind. Every scout is different. There are some fundamentals, they also want to see as a athlete, are you really good for a particular sport? Sometimes they have these own thinking. What AI does, it helps them with the data so that when they are scouting, they get the data which they think is right for scouting. So it depends on the person who is scouting. But the role of AI is to bring the data and insight to empower him make the right objective decision. So that's where I think AI can play a very strong role in managing and getting the right players for the right team in the right position.
Okay. And like now when we talk about fan engagement, so how is video analysis or the video data, it can be made immersive or it can be made an interactive experience. And what is the role of AI into that, and how is technology changing these days? And like there are like multi-angle views or multi-angle replays, tactical breakdowns. There are so many things happening. So like
Yeah.
at the end, how is it benefiting a fan?
I think it's giving a fan, an audience, unprecedented access to, you know, interacting with the sport. Okay, so as a fan, let's say you're watching the game real time, sitting in a stadium. Now, depending on where you're sitting, you might be able to see everything. You may not be able to see everything, based on the viewpoint where you are. So tools are helping you not only enjoy the real life experience being in a stadium, but you also have access to zoom in and watch everything you want to watch while actually enjoying the real time experience of being in the stadium. If you remember previously, there used to be only one camera looking at a match of a cricket match, but now they have so many different cameras. They have a camera on a robot which moves and continuously moving. They have a spider cam which can come in and zoom in. It's it's a way to let the fan enjoy to the best of the capability as if they are actually on the ground with the player. This is what we have currently today. Then AI is giving technology the power to analyze the game in real time. So you've seen ball tracking, AI-based referee, where they actually can track the ball and say whether the ball is, going to hit the wicket or not. So those computer vision algorithms are now powered by some of the machine learning capabilities and algorithms, which can do it very accurately. The other thing, if we say, hey, what's gonna be the future, in 5 years' time, maybe you can do real time zoom in into the game. You can pause. You can do some what if analysis. Like, every one of us, we really love to give our advice. Hey, maybe the bowler should have done a Yorker here instead of a wide Yorker, a in swinger. Maybe the batsman should have left that ball or hit in a different way. Maybe the fan can actually try that simulation and see whether what they're thinking is going to be the right thinking or not. So the power of technology is really helping fans and audience to get what they are most excited about. Some like to see previous stats of the player, how many times they have performed well in the last over. Some people like to see the fielding position and how it is going to help the bowler. So all these information is now slowly coming to the fan. If when you're watching a TV, the AI based metrics and things currently they are given to you by the broadcaster. Imagine a future where you can actually choose what metrics you want. You can say, don't show me this, show me the spider cam, or you can choose the view you want to see. And that is coming as well. You can change the camera view in real time and watch the game from a particular viewpoint. Doesn't matter where you're sitting in the stadium or whether you're watching from your home. And these things are getting more and more real as we speak, and they're going to become more immersive and more powerful in future.
So when you were talking about the immersive experiences for a fan, like how is AI changing digital platforms or versus in stadium experience for the fans?
Right, yeah. So AI has come a long way, especially with deep learning, which is a part of machine learning algorithms. They become quite powerful, I think somewhere in 2009 or 7, when there was the first AlexNet came into picture. And since then, we have seen, exponential advancement in the performance of AI algorithms. Before that, they were very powerful, but now they are extremely, extremely accurate and powerful. The next pivotal change was LLM. As we have seen OpenAI chatbot, and now they have multimodal LLMs, which are amazingly powerful piece of technology. Because of having these powerful algorithms, as well as the hardware supplied by NVIDIA and many other hardware companies, access to run these algorithms in real time or in near real time is getting better and better. Because of these powerful algorithms and fundamental computer vision algorithms, which are how do you deal with vision, with videos and images, combining machine learning algorithm, computer vision algorithms, and hardware, and the right bandwidth. Now we have 5G. We can actually transmit, a lot of data over a wireless and wired internet. They are bringing new advancements in what we can create. So, in real time, we have feed coming from a number of cameras, and you can choose to see spider cam or you can choose to see any other camera viewpoint. All this thing is happening because of advancement in these technologies, and it's going to go even more immersive and more powerful in future.
Absolutely. So when we talk about all the positive sides, you being into the technology field from such a long time, I want to understand what are the ethical concerns which can arise, because there are a lot of deepfake videos or deepfake highlights which are there right now in the market. So,
Yeah,
or like, there is automatic commentary also.
yeah.
So, how to prevent that, or like, what are the ethical concerns which can come up and how to mitigate all those things?
Yeah, yeah. Look, it's an important question, and eventually, I think it boils down to us humans, to ensure that we use the technology for the right application. As they say, it's a double-edged sword. You can use the sword to defend, or you can use it, to attack. And it's the same true with any technology which is out there. Um, there are good people, who are building technology to generate videos, so for the right reasons, okay? And then there are people who are using it to create deepfakes, as you say, for the wrong reason. So eventually, I think it will always be a case that there are two sides to a coin, and we have to make sure and hope that the right side is probably more in number and more powerful to stop the other side in practice. Having said that, it is also important that we bring the right safeguards when we are bringing technology which is as powerful as AI. So those safeguards need to come from everyone who is involved in the ecosystem, from engineers and scientists who are developing these technologies to the bodies who govern these technology, and to governments, that they have the right safeguard in place, not to stop the development, but to support the development in the right ethical way and a safe way. And it's easier said than done. And that's where I think we need to put our collective energy together to ensure that we continue on the path of technological advancement and innovation in a safe and a sustainable way.
So what are the type of regulations which can be implemented? Like, it can be through governments or it can be through tech companies, like to ensure that there are less and less of deep fakes or the videos being misused. What are the types of regulations?
Look, there are standards coming now, which
Okay.
which can evaluate the AI system you're using. I think there are consulting companies working on AI ethical framework. What are the right ways of ethically using AI? And these things are happening in parallel, as because AI is getting advanced and the innovation is happening at an unprecedented rate. Every couple of days you see something new pops up. So the governance side and the ethical side, they also have to catch up to it to have the right frameworks ready. And I think people are now realizing and they're putting effort into it. It will take more time and more effort from collectively from the top level, like from the government level. It has to be embrace AI. So it's like if you have a power which can do amazing things like an AI, there can be two responses to it. First, hey, this power is amazing. Let's hide it. Let's not give anyone to use it because they can be misused. The second approach can be let's use the power in the right way for growth, for advancement, for sustainability, and make sure we are mature enough to use it. And I support the second way. So that's where think tanks and practitioners like us and people who are in power, like our politicians, our leaders, they should work out what's the right way to embrace this technology. What can go wrong? Let's work out a way and let's come up with safeguards to fix it. There can be uh, there can be positive instruments. So we know deepfake is coming. So we can positively contribute to the research to detect deepfake. Okay, so we can have funds and grants and projects supported which can detect deepfakes and stop it. We can have negative feedback as well, like penalties. If you are found in creating deepfake, there are rules and regulations that you will be penalized. And a combination of positive instruments and negative instruments will hopefully protect the ecosystem and also help the technology to grow.
Absolutely. Like that is so relevant. So like, when we talk about AI, how can it help into democratizing access to high quality sports training globally? Because there is less of access at multiple places, at grassroots levels. So how can AI help into that?
Look, this is a really good question, and my apologies, but I'm going to use view motion as an example. But that is exactly what our vision is: empower every human to move better. And when we started building this technology, we said, okay, we're not going to use any specialized hardware so that anyone in the world, in theory, have access to it. So we took our mobile camera, which are now very, very powerful. They can record at 4K, they can record at 60 frames per second. Some of them can actually record at 120 frames per second and even higher at 240 frames per second. So we at ViewMotion, we said, let's bring the technology to everyone who has a mobile phone. And actually 7 billion people out of 9 billion people on the world, they have access to a mobile phone. So using a commodity hardware, how can we extract information which previously can only be possible when you go to a lab? That was the technological challenge we took on, and we are very proud that we have made a small but significant step in democratizing AI, especially in the sports domain. Our technology is now used across around 50 countries. I have seen videos where people have recorded biomechanical tests running in their backyard, running in their front yard, running on sand, running on grass, running on an athletics track, you name it, and we have seen it. And it makes me very happy that the technology is now truly getting democratized. I don't want to say that we have achieved what we want to achieve, but we are moving towards it. And that's bringing the power of AI, the power of objective data, accurately getting the science behind movement analysis, and letting everyone from coach to athlete to data scientist and sports scientist. It is such a strong ecosystem. And as they say, there are 12 people playing in a cricket, or 11 in the field, but there is a battery of, analysts and coaches who are continuously working to make sure that they are at their best form to perform. And our goal is to give them the right tools at the right time to make the right decisions.
Absolutely. So, like, if you had, if you could design an ultimate sports stack for a sports team, it can be any, like combining video analysis, the AI, fan engagement, what would it look like? And who would it empower at the end of the day?
Well, it's a really good and tough question, Ami. Probably I need to think about it. Um, it depends who the user is going to be and what their wish list. So for a coach, their aim is to bring the right insight to manage their player. They want to make sure that the player, the athlete, who is a living human person, they are performing at the best of their capability. But they also want to make sure that, to manage their load such that they do not move towards any injury. And that's where performance monitoring comes very important. There are many ways you can monitor the performance, and some of the methods are related to sprinting. So some of the users, in fact, a lot of our users, because now getting your biomechanical data, your sprinting performance is so easy that you can do it literally in 5 minutes for a team of 20 people. They record on a regular basis before and after a game. And even small changes through our technology, we can highlight, through color coding, red, amber, green, that which players are showing, sign of extra fatigue. And then the coaches know, they need to drill down and see what is going on to make the right decision so that the players perform to the best of their capability. We do not want to push more than what they can handle to a limit, because we want to make sure that every player is playing the game to the in the long term and performing to their best. So for a coach, that is important. For an athlete, obviously they want to perform to their best. They want to have a successful career. They want to win whatever they're playing, and they want to make sure that their ecosystem of people who are supporting them biologically, psychologically, and in a biomechanical way. It's not just your biomechanics; it's also your psychological mind of affair which you have to manage, because it can be very demanding on your state of mind. So they probably need all these aspects to be ready for the game. For fans, sports is a passion. It's an entertainment. They want to interact with their players, their coaches. They want to see the games again and again. They want to highlight. They want to store their key moments of the game, and the technology tool should give them this access. So that's where fan engagement solutions come into picture. For us, because we want to empower everyone to move better, we are continuously building a platform which gives the right data, the right insights, make things more objective so that your subjective part does not play that strong a role. You can make the right decision based on the data, and powerful communication tool, which is very, very easy to use. And that's where we are always pushing the boundary of AI and cloud technology through accessible hardware such as iPhone and Android phone such as Samsung.
Absolutely. One last question, Amit, for you is like you are into this space and you are having tons of experience. So I want to understand how difficult, from a technology point of view, it is to create like you take software, hardware, how difficult is, what efforts are being put behind, like what are the thoughts for a whole team of developers, and how does that work? I want to
Yeah.
understand the grassroots of technology people. What is the thought?
Look, first of all, the team has to be very passionate about what they do. So we are fortunate to have very passionate people building the technology. There are machine learning engineers, there are biomechanists and sports scientists in the team who tell us the domain knowledge. Ryan, our co-founder, he is a coach himself, so he understands as a first-hand person, he understands what a coach has to go through to help his athletes. We have access to software developers and iOS developers who understand how to code into those platforms. The good news is that AI is also helping us become more efficient in what we do. But having said that, the importance of fundamentals is so much more now than previously when there was AI-based coding tools. Because as they say, it can give you 80% and 90%. But if you don't understand what you're writing as a code, and there is a particular case which is missed by AI or it doesn't handle it, then you don't know what bugs you're gonna put in the code. So that's where it's even more important that you can ask the AI the right question to help you. So that knowledge of fundamentals like computer science fundamentals, algorithm fundamentals, in our case, machine learning and computer vision fundamentals. In fact, for me, AI was signal processing, digital signal processing before. We were managing the signals when there was no mention of AI in 2000, 2 and 3. So those scientific fundamentals are extremely important to continue to drive innovation. And that's where our educational institutes, they are more relevant than ever, because it's now very easy to get an answer through AI. ChatGPT can give you an answer, but now it's extremely important to understand that answer. Why is it working? In which scenarios this particular code is not going to work? What is the actual mathematical background behind the algorithm which you're using? Those things are extremely, extremely important now.
True. Perfect. So, like, we'll move on to the next segment into the podcast. It's a rapid fire round.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I will ask you a few questions. You'll have to be quick in answering. Okay.
Okay, I'll try my best.
So, first
Please ask
question.
simple question.
Okay. So, the first question is, if AI were a sports coach, what's the one phrase it would overuse?
Oh, I hope AI always helps a true sports coach. But if I need to think of a one phrase, it reminds me, can make mistakes, please check important info.
Good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Good one. So, would you rather have an AI powered referee or a human one?
Look, I will always go, as I said, for me, AI is augmenting intelligence. So I will have a human referee using AI systems to help him make the right decision quickly.
Perfect. What's one futuristic AI sports gadget you wish existed today?
Sports gadget. Look, I think it's different for different, persona. So if we take an example of a coach, um, you know, I think, View Motion, what it's going to be in 5 years' time, should be the gadget they should get because our mission and vision is to give them the right information, the right insights, how their players are performing and moving so that they can help their players get better. So that's the gadget, we are actually working on making it happen to empower them to move better. For fans, I mean, View Motion currently does not work in fans engagement. If I'm a fan, I want to make sure I have access to, my the sports I follow, the players I follow. I can talk to them, I can interact with them, I can watch the games, I can enjoy the games. So a gadget which give me access is something important.
Okay. What's a ridiculous way AI could be used in a sports? Like just examples, robot cheerleaders.
Interesting. Well, a AI player playing the game against the human player.
Okay.
Um, there are some people imagining that, like, you're playing against a robot. Um, I find it very futuristic and, eventually maybe challenging because we're going to compete with the AI, like you have seen in the chess. You
Yes.
play against the algorithm. Is it really ridiculous? In some way, yes, because there are unfair advantage which the opponent has, while the whole idea of sport is that everybody has a fair access and fair advantage. So that's why you have different sports for male and different females,
Absolutely.
because it's fair to compete in that ecosystem.
Okay. Should AI create custom jerseys based on player emotions? Yes or no?
As long as it's safe and within some boundaries, why not?
Okay. If you had an AI sports assistant, what would you name it?
Um, Look, we have already named it View Motion.
Okay.
Um, and that's where we are going. If I need to choose a personal name, I'll call it Amy because that's overlapping with your and my name, and it's very smooth on how to speak. But I
Absolutely.
would I would call it View Motion. Do it.
Absolutely. Your all-time favorite player, name one. Legend, past, present.
All-time favorite player. Oh, such a great question. Look, I actually love every human who is a sports person, who is playing sport. I want everyone, to play sport to move better because sports is such a positive thing. You're not only helping your body to stay healthy and happy, you're also helping your brain as well because you're focused on doing something, you're undistracted. It's a positive thing. So my favorite player is actually every human being who is a sports person. And I
But
don't mean
still, but
sports.
still still a legend. I would like to know a
Yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah. Uh, and like I wasn't finished. I think, I
Sorry.
admire some of the legends of the sports. Um, Obviously, my first sport, which I was very passionate about, is cricket. And I've seen, players like Ricky Ponting, such a dominating player, not just as a batsman, but also as a captain. And like Australian team, in that era, they are still very, very powerful, very, very competing team, very focused. But Ricky Ponting era was different. Glenn McGrath, I mean, as a bowler, like, I can see same line and length multiple times, again and again and again and again. This is like a machine. But outside as a person, he started McGrath Foundation, the pink ball test, such a positive cause. From Indian side, like, we have great ambassador of the game, Sachin Tendulkar, like, not just a great, player, batsman, but also a great ambassador. He has always played the game in the right spirit, like a true sportsman. I mean, Bumrah, I mean, he has such a interesting, bowling action, and looking at him, having such accuracy, even pushing his biomechanics. Like, I mean, we are working in cricket biomechanics, and the way Bumrah moves, it's very, very hard on his body. And we are seeing, like, he's currently out, rehabbing.
True.
But he kept pushing, and he didn't say no to his, whoever, captain or the team assigning him the load he has. It's amazing sportsman. Mr. Dhoni, the GOAT, he's so cool. It's hard to stay cool. You have to take tough decisions, and he always take. I also want to mention, tennis in here. Like, I have played tennis a little bit, and I've seen Roger playing tennis. And man, he makes the game look effortless. Like, he just you see him playing at that level, with some of the opponents who are so strong. And somehow he makes it look effortless. Like, he moves like water. And the other person who I really admire is Nadal. He's totally different in style with Roger. Like, his full energy, you can see the passion, the sound coming, the way he hit the ball. And these guys are amazing sportsmen on and off the field. And when I say favorite sports person, I also wanna, admire the team which helps these guys. The physios, the coaches, the sports scientists, and people like us who are giving them the tools, to
Absolutely.
perform.
Absolutely. So if last question, if you could have dinner with a player in any restaurant you can pick, who would it be? Name one.
Yeah. Oh, look, any one of the people I mentioned, I would love them. If you play a sport, I would love to have a dinner with you, because as I said, I love people who are playing sports because it's a positive thing. I think if everybody starts playing sports, half of the problem of the world will be, gone because, you won't focus on creating deep fakes, I hope. Uh, so that's my wish list. Um, so yeah, yeah. Look, I'm not a fan person per se. I would love to have dinner with. I got a chance to meet a bowling legend here, and I salute them for the work they have done. So any sports person,
Okay.
from Ricky Ponting to Bumrah to Sachin to Virat Kohli, I would love to talk. How can we make more people play sports?
Absolutely. So now, Amit, we move on to the next segment. That is, I'll ask you one question and you'll have to answer that into 30 seconds.
Oh wow. Okay, sure.
What is the role of AI and the future of sports science?
What is the role of AI and the future of sports science? Very good question. I think the future of sports science is bright, and it's getting more objective, more democratized. The power of data, the power of insights is available to everyone, so that everyone has a fair field to improve themselves, not get injured, work hard, and enjoy the sport, and also, put their best foot forward to win the sport. I met with uh, Olivia in my trip to Australia India Sports Forum last month, and I was really amazed, through talking to her and her journey. She was a netball player, then she moved on to cricket based on her passion, and now she is a CEO of Cricket ACT. And data can help you, decide the right future based on your passion and the right information. It can help you become the best, not get injured, and really enjoy the sport which you passionate about. So that's where I think the role of AI is very important for coaches and players, and for fans and audience out there. It's going to be more powerful form of entertainment. Everybody needs something different. If we go to movies, Some people like thriller, some people like comedy, and some people like sci-fi. Same in when you're watching a sports game. Some people like, to play differently. Some are baller friendly, some are cricket friendly. The power of AI is to bring anything and everything which you want from that sport. And that's where everybody will be very, very engaged and immersed.
Thank you, Amit, for sharing your insights and joining us today on the podcast.
Thank you, Ami, for giving me this opportunity. Good to chat. These are powerful topics, and thank you for giving me this option to share my feelings about it.
Absolutely. So, everyone, let's stay connected on understanding more about sports and technology. Please share this episode with your friends, families, and the people who love sports technology. That was Amit sharing his experience today. So, everyone, let's join in the next episode next week. Until then, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep exploring.
Yeah, and keep moving better.
Absolutely.
So we
Absolutely.